Yo, man, they're trying to kill me in here, bro.
Sorry, DJ Concept.
Lost in hip hop. We here.
We are here.
Say
Live
something.
on Twitch.
Yes.
What up, Twitches? We are live. Funny thing is Nature is FaceTiming as we're
that's
live.
fire, that's
Yo,
fire.
Nate, what up?
And Smooth right now. We're live
yeah.
on the show, Lost in Hip Hop.
Nate.
What up, bro? Everything's good. Everything's smooth, bro. We got.
Well, let's give him a good introduction.
You give him the introduction.
So, I think I would say both of us are fans of this man. He came up through the ranks, and I mean, he's put out so many projects. I mean, I would say one of the originators out here in Long Island that was like bringing back that some gritty, grimy sound.
Grimy shit. Yeah.
Been around for a while. Hempstead's own. Smooth in the building.
Smooth. Yeah, no doubt. Word. I'm a big fan of Nature too, man. Been listening to Nature for forever. Word. Salute.
Yo, let me hit you back.
All right, so what we like to do on the show, man, we like to take it back to the real history, right? So we like to take it all the way back, get all the stories. So take it back for us, even before hip hop, just to like growing up in Long Island and the musical influence that was around you.
All right. Well, I mean, it's hard to say growing up without music, because like for instance, my grandfather was a famous musician. He was a blues
Lil
musician.
Busta.
Yeah, Lil Busta. So,
Okay.
So
that's
yeah.
cool. I'm unfamiliar with that, but so
Yeah,
elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, so he was a blues musician that he traveled the world, went to Japan, did a big tour over there.
Wow. That's
yeah,
cool.
and then my uncles, my aunt, my mom, they went to school with Busta Rhymes and the leaders of the new school. So
Dope.
yeah, from the time I was like 5 years old, I was around them, and
They're like,
Tribe, Called Quest, and all those guys. So I've been around hip hop since
yeah, what year was that? And what age?
I was 5.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I really got with Busta and them around like 1990. Well, I was watching them around then, 90, until When Disaster Strikes, when that came out, and then he popped and everything like that. I saw less of him, but
Got you.
he's always been, around. You know what I mean?
That's crazy to have that kind of connection that early.
Yeah. So and that's all from my uncle. He's big in hip hop. He went to school with them. He makes beats. He did talent shows with them. So
music is in your family.
yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
And is this how? I mean, when you started messing around with music, was he the one who was like, let's work on some stuff, or were you just like you saw what he was doing and then you just went to?
Yeah, I saw what he was doing. He didn't say let's work on some stuff until later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he wanted you to prove yourself.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But I saw what he was doing with Busta and with the UN with Rock and everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, because my uncle, he worked with the UN, IGT, and all those guys. So it was around like 2005 when me and Hus we started. It wasn't even serious like that. We just
So in 2005, how old are you?
05, I am 19.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And you're taking it seriously.
Yeah, serious. Yeah,
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Seriously.
And that's 05.
Yeah.
I mean, but when was your first tape? Wasn't later than that?
Nah, well, I mean, if you're counting like MySpace,
I'm counting
Earlier
so
than
then
that. Was it before 2005?
Nah, me and Hus' first tape was 04.
Now, was this a connection tape at that time?
Yeah, the connection, yeah. So, all the stuff that you see people doing these days on like Instagram and all that stuff, we were using MySpace.
Understood.
Yeah, and we were meeting people from overseas. They really didn't even speak English like that. Yeah, so we would use like Google Translate to talk to them.
Wow.
And then they send beats, and then
That's pretty cool.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean that MySpace was the thing back then, right? Because that's how.
For sure.
Well,
It was like
me and
first
Knox.
social media.
That's how me and
communication
Knox got half our guests on Sirius when we did our show, because like
Right.
either you had a manager's name or number, or you just hit them up on MySpace and said, "Hey." And I didn't like managers, man.
And it worked.
Manager, well,
You would get hit back.
at that
On
time,
MySpace.
managers were like,
Right.
and then if you hit the person, they would hit you back.
But when you guys did the Bash Bros, it was from 05 to
04.
Okay,
Yeah.
so right around that same time.
Yeah. It's crazy because around that time, there was a lot of I guess I would say Long Island competition. You know what I mean? Like we did I got with I don't know if you remember Life Open Mic back in the days.
Heard of it?
Yeah, so we used to do that, and then for a while it was in Belmore, but then it was out here in Suffolk, and then we would perform and meet different artists. That's how we met Rozewood. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Rozewood.
Yeah.
So you met him out
Another
here.
dope MC.
Yeah, we met him out here because he's from Amityville.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that about him.
Yeah, he's from Amityville, and that like Mach-Hommy, for instance, that was Rose's boy. You know what I mean? So that's how we got.
Oh,
with-
word?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
See, like, this is the thing. Like, this is what I was getting at when I was doing the intro. Like, I feel like a lot of people credit the comeback of the gritty sound to the New York area to like a West Side Gun, and not taking anything away from them, but I feel like these cats, Hus, SmooVth, Rock, of course, but like Rock had his own lane there, and then I feel like you guys just had that sound that people wanted, and that you started like you started influencing all these other people to come out.
Absolutely,
You feel that way?
definitely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For sure.
I know Hus does in the sense of I study the music and to understand like when certain things did come out.
Yeah. Like you said, it's no disrespect to anybody, No,
not at all.
Much love to those guys and everything like that.
Yeah.
But if you're looking in like a history book, at the end of the day,
Right, in a timeline.
In the timeline, we were doing this like, it was us, it was Rock, Ka, Ali Vegas, Willie the Kid. I didn't know about any of these other guys. You get what I'm saying? Until they started coming out probably like 2013, 2014, stuff like that. But much love to them, and they definitely have influenced a lot of people. So
we're big fans of all of it. The overall sound and the culture of what it does get deemed as what's called like drug dealer rap or cocaine rap, right? And this when they try to categorize it, but I have this theory of what I just call is the left field flow. Yeah. Where
Fair enough.
when I break down the timeline and as much as I can remember, Rock Marciano was like one of the first people I've ever heard like rhyme so far left field, and then I heard everything else from there. Would you say that that's true?
I would say it's true. The thing, it's hard for me to, cause like I'm different from everyone else because I was actually around these guys. So for me, I could say he was around before everybody for sure. But me being young and in that with my uncle, I was around as well. You get what I'm saying? But like the UN, I used to pull up to the house. And
so when you say the UN, all right, like I know that there was a flip mode. Rock Marciano was wasn't an official flip mode member, wasn't he?
He was with flip mode.
And that then turned into the UN type of thing, or, in a sense. Well, explain that to me because I never really understood the UN thing.
Well, I can't fully tell his story because I don't want to be wrong. But,
and I'm not interviewing about him either. But I like to break down the lineage of how we seen it as fans.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So basically, I know Rock went to school with my uncle, my aunts, Busta. Busta's younger brother introduced Rock to him.
Gotcha.
The UN was a group you know, Rock did his thing with Flip Mode, and when he was done doing his thing with Flip Mode, he, you know, did his thing with UN and tried to carry them and do what needed to be done to get them where they needed to get.
And you were in and around that area.
Yes, because
doing your thing or coming up.
Yeah, coming up. We were coming up, listening to Rock.
See, this is great to know, bro, because it breaks down, like I said, a timeline, and you get a picture of, again, as like real serious rap fans, bro. When we think about these like hotbeds of talent that is coming out, we're looking at it like Queensbridge, and we're like Rock and Hus and SmooVth. It's like, but little do we know like how it all, or if it was all connected. You know what I mean? And this is where we're at right here, Lost in Hip Hop, live on Twitch. Yeah, shout out to Ewing Athletics is the sponsor. Shout out to Mickey Knox is on a cruise right now.
Mickey Knox, man.
Enjoying his life, and that's great, as we all should. We're here with SmooVth.
100%.
Long Island's own, Hempstead's own. Talk to him, DJ Concept.
Well, let's do this because I know you want to talk about that lineage a little bit, but like let's talk about how you met Hus. I know you've been around them for a long time, but how did you actually meet him?
I met him through a mutual friend, basically. You know what I mean? A guy that I went to elementary school with. All right. We linked back up.
The elementary school friend.
Yeah, that me and the elementary school friend linked back up, and Hus was his boy. Okay. So that's how we linked up. You know what I mean? We used to just hang out and stuff, and I was going to Nassau Community College. Okay. And Hus lived right over there. So on breaks, I would just go to his house, and then he was recording songs, and I was like, oh. You know what I mean? So I started recording in there.
And this is before you guys actually started.
Yeah, that's before we started doing anything for real. And then he had a MySpace, I made a MySpace. And we also used this website called SoundClick.
I remember SoundClick.
Remember SoundClick.
Yeah, and we used to rip the beats and then rap on them and then message the producer like, yo, check this out. You know what I mean?
That's the early hustle.
Yeah.
No, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. No, it's not like how it was. It wasn't like how it is now. You know what I mean? Like back then.
And that was like somewhat of file sharing. That's what that is.
Yeah. So some
direct download of some sort.
Some people didn't make their beats directly downloadable. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So we used to, I would just basically record the beat, you know what I mean? And then spit on it. Or if it was downloadable,
got you.
Download it, But we would still message the producer like, yo, check this out. You know what I mean?
The first releases in that era, like where mixtapes is dying out in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I remember, and I can't remember exactly what year, but there was a particular G-Unit, it was like the Body Snatchers or whatever, where you could only get it in the beginning as like a digital download. Then later on, the CD then eventually did come out, but it was like where you actually had projects and starting to come out digitally somehow, being released some way, some shape or form. And how was it an upload to like a Dat Piff or like a buy mixtapes or something like that?
Yeah, so I gotta credit Hus to that because know, like all of the like just the science behind it. He's a mastermind with it. So back in the days there was like Media Fire and stuff like that.
Yep.
Right.
So
those are all like the upload.
Yeah. And I never figured out any of them. I mean,
those were literally just Dropbox where you could upload something and someone could download it. You know?
So he would put all the songs in that. And then name them something, and then we'd post it on MySpace, like, yo, download this, and we'd share it around, message people.
Yeah, I remember there was times where I would see certain songs on MySpace that I never heard before, and then somebody that had it would offer it for $1. I had to connect my credit card to pay $1 to somebody.
Through MySpace, really?
MySpace, yeah.
See, I never did that on MySpace, but that's crazy. That was available back then.
We never did that. Like, we were just trying to get our names up, so we didn't.
Or it actually might have been SoundClick. One of those was where you could pay for
I think
somebody
it had
to
be
send you
probably,
the download or something.
Yeah.
But
more than likely, that's what.
So that's when the putting out of the music, you know, professionally in that sense, starts is around 05. I first hear you guys around 2010, 11, like type of thing, and it was because of Mickey Knox and Concept, and I've been a fan ever since. And you know, we have to credit Long Island and Hempstead, that area, for having so many dope MCs to come out of there. Busta's not the only one.
Oh, for sure.
You know, the list goes on and on. You know, what do you, in your career, when you looked at like who came before you, you know, and you wore that as something to like you got to show and prove type of thing?
Of course, yeah, of course. And then, you know, all the artists, you know what I mean? Like we said before, Prodigy, you know, Rock, Method Man, you got you know, Flavor Flav from right around the corner, Chuck D, you know what I mean? So all of that.
Yeah,
right.
Why, like, you know, it's so many occurrences where Hempstead being dope and all, and you know, and Long Island, but you know, they get so big as an artist and they do go to a different borough to rep something else. I understand maybe moving, like I guess Meth moved out of you know, but in the big three, you know, which would be Busta, Prodigy, and Meth, they all kind of, you know, went somewhere else to rep it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
the borough's just always like cooler, I mean, like type of thing.
You know, like I said, you know, like Bust, I guess he's from Brooklyn, but he came of age in Uniondale, Hempstead area. You know what I mean? And then I guess he went back to Brooklyn, you know.
Understood.
So I guess when you think about it, that's where he was born.
Yeah. So you know, like, because recently in his it was an acceptance speech for something, but he, you know, he shouted out over here. You know what I mean? So I think he reps both. You know?
Well, I mean, other than Hempstead, you know, Long Island is just so rich in history of hip hop, like in all the different hoods and areas.
For sure.
You know, so to be a standout MC from Long Island, you're anointed into those names now.
Right.
Unfortunate for Long Island, and we're such a Long Island, like we love it. You know, we haven't had just a outright, you know, blockbuster out of Long Island, you know, in a long time. In the 80s, we ruled it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit in the 90s, and as it comes, you know, like we give the props to Rock Moss and all that. Like, you know, he's the underground superstar, all that. But would you like to see more coming out of Long Island?
I mean, of course. You know, I would love to see it because, you know, every Long Island artist I know, I'd put them up against, you know, guys from the boroughs. You know what I mean? It's not one. It's not one Long Island artist, you know, in my opinion, whose pen isn't serious. You know what I mean?
You're right about that.
I mean, I guess to your point, you know, there's so many artists coming out of Long Island, but like you say, there's been so many good like artists of your caliber that came out, like, and out of Rakim or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right. The stardom of it.
But what's the difference, man? You know, someone's rapping,
well, bro,
and it has the skill to rap. I don't care what level you're at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and if you make a dope business out of it for yourself and notoriety and can tour or sell some merch, you know, those things is like, we're on an independent grind. I give a lot of props to you guys, like in so many years, how you grinded. We spoke over the years, and like, you know, like what we're gonna work on some stuff definitely coming in the future, right?
For sure. Nah, we still gotta do, you know. We've been talking for, like, you know, I'm long overdue with concept too, for sure. I can't even deny that, like, you know.
So that leads me to my next question.
Yeah.
Where are you at, like, and as you see hip hop and music and your career right now?
Wait, are we talking about now? Because we got a lot of history to talk about before we get to now.
Oh, my bad. Yeah,
we got a lot of history.
Give me some history then. I love history.
So I want to. So you came out. You did a couple tapes, right? Then the first connection tape, right?
Yeah. So we did. We came out probably with like 2 tapes, and then we were like, because we used to hang out with other dudes, and my boy Mel was like, yo, we should call ourselves a connection. And this was just us hanging out, you know what I mean? And then me, Hus, and his cousin made beats, and then we came out as the connection.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
then, and then from there it was a connection, you know, all throughout.
And the shooters and the wavy and all that, like that was a part of that, right? Like, did that start?
That was
came
later.
a little later.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was a little bit later.
Gotcha.
That was like
I like that whole
winners.
wave.
That was after the Cognac tape, 2013.
Oh yeah, that was Hus's tape. Hosted by Rock, right?
Yeah. Up until then,
Fire,
we were the connection up until around then. Then I wasn't making music as much, and then it was just Hus Kingpin, you know what I mean? And then after he dropped the Cognac tape, because for years I was like, you know, because we were grinding from like 05 until 2012, 2013, I was like burnt out because I felt like, I mean, people knew what was going on, but, you know, I felt like I was popular, but I wasn't going anywhere like that. You know what I mean? So,
well, but
you
I
know,
feel
so
like
I
what
was
happened.
just chilling.
I feel like what happened was though the times changed a little bit.
Yeah.
With the way you could make more music digitally and share it digitally. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I feel like a lot of people like excelled with like you guys, like you, because you like before that you're just making your name and you're grinding and you're it's like hand to hand type of thing.
Yeah. So after he dropped Cognac tape, I was like, when I saw what he was able to do with that, that's when we started doing more music. And then now it was, instead of the connection, it was just Hus Kingpin and SmooVth. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But we paid homage to it by when we dropped the Connect tape. It's like, you know.
Down the road.
But yeah. So from about 2014 for me until now, I've been doing my thing, like, for real.
Yeah, I mean, and there's so many tapes in there. Like, we could talk about all these things, but like, I like the fact that you've done different, not styles, but like you have the stuff with Giallo, and then you have the stuff, the newest stuff with Wun Two, which is a totally different. So like how do you pick the producers you work with as far as that? Because like back then, like $100 tape or that type of shit, like all of those tapes were more like they had a sound.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like a lot of those guys aren't, a lot of like the $100 taper guys and stuff like that, a lot of them aren't around anymore. Giallo's still around though.
Yeah, Giallo, you still dropping with him.
Yeah.
When he did something with Fredro?
Yeah, did something with Fredro, you know what I mean? That was crazy. I was actually shocked that came about. You know what I mean? He messaged me one day. That was pretty.
And he's the one who hit you up.
Yeah, so his, I don't know if you know Perry, but Perry works with them. He's like their manager.
I don't.
Yeah. So I think Perry heard me on Sirius, and then he told Fredro about me, and then Fredro messaged me and was like, "Yo, I'll produce this for you." You know what I'm saying? So.
So
Yeah. I was like, I was working with Wun Two at the time, and then when Fredro hit me up, I was like, oh shit, I gotta do this. You know what I mean?
You just knock that out.
Yeah, knock that out. So but as far as picking the producers, really, for me it's easy. Hus always says, yo, mix it up, man. Work with different producers.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, which I agree. You know what I mean? But it's easy to just spit raps. And, you send the raps to the producer, he mixes it, and, you know what I mean? So that's really, for me, how, why I've worked with certain people. It's just easy, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But,
and then Giallo, how'd you hook with him? Because he's from UK, right?
Yeah, he's from UK. That's basically what we did. So I didn't speak about SoundCloud, right?
Oh, sound, okay,
right,
let's go.
Right,
yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of where I met. Well, actually, Wun Two said he knew us from MySpace, and I had no clue that he knew us from MySpace.
Gotcha.
But after MySpace, we used Facebook, and then SoundCloud got big, and then that's how we started finding other producers
Yeah, SoundCloud blew up.
Big for discovery.
Yeah,
for sure.
SoundCloud.
Yeah, so I was working hard on SoundCloud as well. You know what I mean? And then Hus was like, "Yo, make an Instagram," and I was like, "I'm not making Instagram. I'm good," like, because I was just all on SoundCloud.
So SoundCloud and Instagram, kind of like the same time frame.
Instagram for me was a little bit later.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I got
you were about the music.
Yeah, I was about to. That's what I was.
And
telling
that's
them.
probably what 2012.
I didn't get on Instagram until SS96J dropped. I finally made an Instagram. That was 2016, but Hus was on it. You know, because for me, it was just about dropping good music, and I was meeting people on SoundCloud. So that's where I met a lot of these guys. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You've been on tour before, correct?
Well, yeah and no. You know what I mean? Like not my own long tour. You know what I'm saying? But I've been on.
Because I remember seeing times where you were running around.
Oh no, yeah, we definitely ran around. You know what I mean? Like back in those days, we ran around early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We ran around early.
Like 2010, 11.
Yep. And then even before then, I was running around all over the place. You know
because that's when I discovered.
Yeah,
you know,
2010.
Hus and SmooVth.
Yeah. Around
2010, 2011, 2012, in that area. And then, you know, again, I always reference the wavy, the wave and the shooters, because to this day, that's how I talk to Hus. I'll never get over just calling them like, yo, what up, wave, what up, shooter, type of thing. And that, you know, that era was when now I'm hearing this left field flow a lot. You know what I mean? Like as I keep calling it, when I do hear Griselda a couple of years later, I kind of figured it was like all connected somehow, like stupid me, but like I'm saying to myself, this has got to be like because these guys rap like this, and now that I'm hearing it, it's like, all right, it's all loops and there's no drums and it's totally left field. I can't get over that expression enough. It's like it's just coming from you're dropping your bars on. It's like landing differently. You know what I mean? It's a little obscure. You know,
it's just different from what you came up listening to.
Yes, but absolutely fell in love with it, bro. Like the style. Yeah,
man. Like you know.
Do they call it the connoisseur flow too, or something like that? Like, what are all of these descriptions that they use for these different
call it all
left
type
field
of
flows
stuff.
or whatever,
luxury flow, all type of shit they call it. You know what I mean?
Luxury flow.
Yeah, you know, but like, me and Hus, like I said, the true history, you know, as far as when we came in until now, you know, some people might not believe me, but I attribute the sound that you hear now, me personally, to Rock, Hus, myself, Willie, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Ka, you know what I mean? And then, you know.
Rest in peace.
Now, can I take it just like a whole step or two back? Like, is there any MF Doom in the
MF Doom influenced us all. You know what I mean?
Now he influenced Rock.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And Rock is the guy. So of course. You know
so yeah, you know, it's crazy when you have kids, you know, that have no idea that MF Doom, you know, from KMD and all that type of stuff.
Right.
And God rest his soul, because he was like one of the icons, right?
Yeah.
And then sometimes, you know, just on the history stuff, I'm like, listen, you gotta really put that together too. Like, I think he's the godfather of that obscure left field flow.
Yeah, he's the godfather of that. And then I'd say Prodigy for teaching us how to, you know, the street poetry, basically. He's giving you the science, but then he's giving you, you know, luxury, and then he's giving you, you know, he was giving you everything.
Science.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
yeah, for real.
Because like we interviewed Noid in here, and he was like, "Yo, I used to call peace science. That was his nickname."
The rap scientist for real. Like when he's really so. You know, you got Doom and then you got Prodigy, and I think those two guys influence. At least I could say me, Hus, Rock for sure. You know what I mean? This whole wave, I would say, came underneath.
No, that's dope to know.
Those guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
we are live, Twitches.
Yeah, we are.
Lost in Hip Hop, sponsored by UN Athletics. Let's get the drop in real quick. We are DCM.com, Lost Boys merch, all different types of merch. I got
loaded. Let's see.
Cassidy.
Tragedy.
Tragedy Gaddafi. He was a guest on the show a couple weeks ago. Check that on YouTube. DCM Live TV on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
What up, Smooth?
What up? What up?
So I want to get into the winners a little bit, right? So you come out, you got the connection, then it's like Hus, then it's SmooVth and Hus.
So that's what it was. It was the winners.
The winners
that had all the
I think there was a shooter tape or something, right? Or something like that. I can't remember the name.
That's right.
But the winners was the crew, and that was like y'all, Rose, Rosati, right? Asia J, yeah.
Yep. Then, more people came in. June Life.
I like the June Life stuff.
Yeah. June, he sent me a joint yesterday. I'm about to do it.
That's one thing I love about Mickey and Concept, bro. They be knowing some obscure hip hop shit, bro.
Well, I mean, not for nothing though. Like,
but shout out to all the winners.
Of course, I've been listening to hip hop for a long time in my life, and I know all the legends and shit. But when I was really like heavily like studying shit was a little bit later, because like that's when I was. So started DJing and like it was like in the beginning, but like right before you guys started coming, and I was DJing and I was getting into this type of artist. So like then when y'all came out and then we got the show and we had all the underground, we were like the underground show, like I just know all these people. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. I get it.
Nah, like I said, I'm older now, so I'm very humble. But I wasn't like coming up. I wasn't like that. I still feel like we're the best. Me, Hus. And I gotta shout out Rockies from and it's I got love for plenty of Long Island, well, all artists really, but I'm just saying as far as from the beginnings, and having to come up during those times, it's not like now. Like back then, you really had to prove yourself.
Yep.
You know what I mean? To like get some shine.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Even doing open mics or, things like that. You had to really be ill because there were so many people.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it definitely got easier just to like blow up, but that didn't mean they were good artists. It just meant they had the right promotion or they hit the right thing on social or whatever like that. You know what I mean?
Nowadays it's just tech beats money, bro.
But we know
make anything.
But
pop.
We know what a real rapper is, right?
Absolutely. And you get like this cult following too of fans that are willing to spend on the merch and come to the shows. How much of that like cult like stuff did you experience? Where you really felt like you had some super fans.
I mean, it's been like that since the beginning, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like since MySpace. But I really felt that when we were. I forgot to mention Marvelous Mag.
Oh, Marvelous Mag.
He's really the reason why we started getting moving. You know what I mean? Like as far as shows. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He was big on the.
And he's from your area?
Yeah, he's from Rozewood.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
What about my man Jazz?
Yeah, of course.
Shout out to Jazz.
Yeah,
shout out to Jazz.
Jazz is still around. He's 5 minutes from me. Yeah, Jazz is my boy. That's my uncle's boy. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. I feel like we hit Jazz on MySpace. This was back then, and then we had the UN booked for our show, me and Knox, and then something fell through for it, and then we never got to reschedule it. But I wish it would have happened.
Yeah, we hit Jazz on MySpace also. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jazz is the big bro. He's always somebody that like I want to impress. There's very little people in the game that like say, I want to show you what I'm doing. I want your opinion on it. You know what I mean? And I respect it. And he's the big homie. So
nah, definitely. When I was going to Sirius XM and different interviews and stuff like that, I always brought Jazz with me. So
no doubt.
Yeah.
No, I like it, bro. Long Island Connect. Yeah, and he's always out there like a recruit, almost like a scout in sports, like always looking for that next guy. I'll see him sometimes at like a local show, watching just one dude, like zoning in and seeing what he's about. As soon as that guy's done, bro, he just leaves. He don't care who's coming on next. But I know that he's like focused on recruiting. Who's next up.
Nah, definitely.
But yeah, that's that whole time frame of like, you know, when you're talking about the winners, that whole, like, I became such a fan of the style of now hip hop that I'm hearing that, you know, to this day, you know, I'm one of those super fans. You know what I mean? Like in
this guy's a Hus super.
I tell him sometimes, like, bro, like, even though, like, 'cause I know you when we talk, it's like it's hard to convey, and the fact that, like, your style is like, you know,
he's dope.
and like you're saying, like, you know, you so when you guys were first creating together, was there any like just notion that you know, were you sounding too much alike in a sense, with all due respect, like
No.
like the style, the way that you was approaching it?
You know what it is, we kind of, he probably in the beginning was like, yo, he probably likes bullshit music when we first met, but when I started telling him the producers and people that I like, he was like, oh shit, we like the same music, you know what I mean? So it was just natural, you know what I mean? Like, cause,
you know, like Ray and Ghost is almost like it's they're different, but they're very similar.
Right, me and him are totally different, you know what I mean? But at the same time, when we come together, but he makes totally different stuff than what I do.
Yeah, I mean, I could hear a tone in your voices that could sound similar, but your flows are so different
totally different.
You know what I mean?
I think
the voice for sure, but I'm talking about the lyrical approach. I'm not saying the flows either. I'm just saying, like, in a left field style, in a sense. You know what I mean?
Maybe just.
I mean, I could pull up a ton of joints that sound like that.
Know, we lived together. We hung out together for forever. We went through shit together. So, you know, I just think his experiences, my experiences, put them together. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And who came up with the winners? Was that like a group effort, or did someone say, "Yo, we're the winners"?
Hus.
It was Hus.
Yeah, Hus was like, we're the winners, and Mag was like, you know, let's call it the winners. But Hus really was the driving force behind it. And then from there, I started, you know, people I like, bringing them in and stuff like that, and it grew from there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Want to play some music?
We can play some music.
Word. Let's do
Come
it.
back. I still want to talk about a couple tapes.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Sure.
We get back into it, bro.
For sure.
All right, let's play some music.
Yeah, I want to hear some Smooth and Ali and shit like that.
All right. Let's do it. Lost in Hip Hop. SmooVth's up in here. Yeah, we back.
We are back. Lost in Hip Hop. Live on Twitch. Sponsored by UN Athletics. We got SmooVth in the building.
That we do.
And we've been going down memory lane.
There's a lot of memory lane things. I don't know what you want to talk about. Some of those things you were just talking about in the back.
I mean, no, but you have specific.
I just wanted to talk about the HNIC tape a little bit, just because I feel like when that tape came out, I was amped because, you know, it's a lot of the same samples and like that whole flow. So, what made you guys go in that direction?
Paying homage to, you know, my favorite rapper from Hempstead, you know what I mean?
There you go. All right.
That's great.
Yeah.
So that was it. Simple as that.
Simple as that. Yeah.
Who produced that?
Multiple producers.
Yeah,
okay. And you just was like, yo, flip this, flip that.
Flip this, flip that. And then, you know, we threw some original stuff in there. Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like that tape when it came out, I don't remember any other tapes that paid homage like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the samples, because, you know, being a producer, I'm like, you know, I'm listening to the beats and I know the samples, and when it came out, I was like, I never really heard something like this.
Yeah, it was different, you know, different, and then you know, we just wanted to pay homage to him and the area we're from, you know.
So some of the like we were just talking about, like, you know, maybe the things that are hip hop facts that you know I never knew.
Okay.
And we love the facts.
Yeah, I love it. I love that on Lost in Hip Hop we somehow we make history, like, and just like we get straight from the person and say this was so. Mach-Hommy is somebody that you're saying, you know, what we were talking about is that he started like running around in Long Island. Yeah. But he's from Jersey.
Yeah, but he, you know, Rozewood, who is
shout out to
Rozewood. Yeah, shout out to Rozewood, bro.
Yeah.
Such a dope MC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
definitely dope. He's actually putting stuff out again. He just put something out.
That's great to hear. I was asking about him the other day. I'd love to get him up here. They said that he's not in New York or whatever, but we got to get him up here.
Definitely got to get him up.
It's like 15 years in the making. He's like one of the first. You know, when we started DCM and we were, you know, getting verses and this and that, like, you know,
he's just as right. He's just as original as us. We were. It was the same time. You know what I mean? But yeah, Mach-Hommy is Rozewood's man.
Got you.
And well, we all came up kind of underneath DJ Phantom.
Got you. So, shout out to DJ Phantom.
Yeah. So Phantom had Rozewood with him and Mach-Hommy. So
wow,
I don't know
if
you've
not
heard
know
them.
that.
Yeah, but they have Rose and Mach have a couple duo like tapes. You know what I mean?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
You know
I wonder if Mickey Knox was here. And he wasn't on a cruise, but he's enjoying himself.
Knox definitely knows.
He would know that.
What's the name of the tape?
I don't even remember the name of the tapes, but
that's dope.
I'm trying to remember now.
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 of them.
So in real time, you got to watch him kind of like however he maneuvered his way through the circuit, and then whatever, and then out of here type of thing.
Yeah, that's why I have I have some early records with Mach.
That's cool, bro.
And I released one on the Connect tape, which came out a couple years ago.
So, you know, he does very well in streaming. I'm just, you know, I'm so like dialed in on the streaming side of things.
About that.
For sure.
And, you know, it becomes almost amazing to me how hearing this full circle in terms of Long Island and people that I know, and just only hearing him because he hit echelons in streaming that like brought him into our discovery. You know what I mean?
No, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I think about it.
So shout out to him and his journey, but it's dope to hear that, you know, there was a Long Island presence, DJ Phantom, who is like a Long Island legend and all that.
He's a legend, sure.
Shout out to him once again. For sure. And, you know, then this connection between Rozewood, which we have so much respect for, and SmooVth.
Yeah, man.
That's
like,
dope,
you know,
bro.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know.
You've left your imprint. Definitely having a legacy for sure.
We touched, definitely, man, for sure. You know?
Yeah, give me some other like, you know, where hip hop has brought you, like, you know, just great, you know, experiences. We always ask, like, you know, where's like if it wasn't for hip hop, maybe you would have never seen it or done it or something like that. You know,
I mean, I never would have just speaking to people all across the world, doing shows, you know, having people buy my merch. You know, the list goes on, really. Like,
have you ever made a true friend, like a pen pal in a sense, like a fan, like and you became friends with somebody that just was somebody you met in overseas or different countries?
Yeah, like DJs and fans and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean?
Just
like
pure fan type shit. Because you know that who's that guy? With Naughty by Nature, who's they're super fan, and now he's like their people. Splish. You know this guy? You know? Oh, see, this guy was like a super fan
with Vin from Naughty today. We texted each other.
Ask him. Yeah,
and I've worked with him for years, but like I never. Yeah, what does he
really?
do? Yeah,
no, this guy was like a super fan of Naughty by Nature. And then he came to their shows, and then like he became friends with them, and now he's like. Their people. He goes to all their shows. He like
I gotta ask you
Naughty
about
by Nature tattoos and all that.
That's great. Great story.
I got a couple people like that. Really, you know, I can't even think off the top of my head, but I feel like a lot of people that I interact with in life is, you know, from hip hop. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
bro.
I never, you know, 20 years ago, I wouldn't even thought this. Would be
so
exactly,
you know, I ask sometimes to certain people, right? Because it's like could hip like without hip hop, did it save you? Did hip hop save you, or did it hurt you in life?
Nah, hip hop definitely saved me. You know.
Yeah, and sometimes where the hurt part of it comes in is like the people that are, you know, devastated by where they didn't get to, where they thought they should have been, and they're disgruntled, and they're kind of like they wish they never did it. It was a gift and a curse, and all that type of stuff.
Nah, if it weren't for hip hop, I'd be, I don't know what I'd be doing. I might be just working a regular job and just, you know, running on a treadmill, doing the same thing over and over again. You know,
Understood.
so I think, you know,
I mean, like, you're a legend in your own right? Like to be able to put out vinyl, right, and have it sell out is an accomplishment.
Exactly.
Absolutely, bro.
100% accomplishment.
Yeah.
So like, and you've done that many times.
Yeah. So, you know, it's definitely a plus for me, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, but like you said, if your whole network of the people that you love and trust basically is there because of your professionalism, you know what I mean? Like, then it's a beautiful thing.
For sure.
Shout out to Hus, because we just said that before too. Somebody that went after exactly what he wanted and got there. And there's many cases, you know, us being another one.
Sure.
We love hip hop. Our whole like life is dedicated to, I mean, 24/7. Me and Mickey Knox, this is just our life. We curate legacy, legendary boom bap, you know, true to essence hip hop.
Definitely.
So we are lost in hip hop
crazy.
yet again. DJ Concept.
Yeah, we are.
DJ Mickey Knox, who's not here. He's on a cruise.
Yep.
And
Shout
my
out
man
to
Smooth.
He'll be back.
Next week. We right back on it, 9 to 11. But let's talk about more because I want to get to where we at right now. In
Let's
case
get
you
to
have
it.
so
Yeah.
many.
Okay.
Well, you know, what we could say is, I know, like recently you just put out the sound with Wun Two.
Yeah.
Who's a different style producer than anyone you know from what I see that you worked with before. So like, what made you choose that, or did he hit you? You hit him?
Nah, you know, just coming up off of different music and stuff like that. You know, I'm a fan of more than one thing.
Of course.
I mean? And I've always liked the lo-fi chill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Adult swim
lo-fi
type stuff. Yeah,
that's what it is.
What a new term, search
term,
term, category term.
I mean, but that's what it is.
That's really what it is.
Lo-fi.
I mean, this one too. Like he's big in that genre.
Yeah, he's.
I mean, and if you ask Mickey
So if
Knox,
you
he
had
doesn't
to-
even think it's a genre. But we'll have that another.
Yeah, that could be. But
Nah, man,
can you
that's a
define that
Listen,
lo-fi? Like what is the definition of it?
I mean, well, first I'm just gonna say, you should go, because I know you're into like the analytics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Go look.
Oh yeah,
at these guys' numbers, man.
It's crazy. Some of them have crazy numbers.
So,
Wun Two has crazy numbers.
That's dope.
Crazy numbers.
Then shout out to him and good for you, bro, for doing that. My question is, as far as lo-fi, how does that categorize and why? Like, what makes it that?
I mean, how could I? It's a mix of soul and this, you know, you hear it. It's like gritty, muffled, but it's like.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's abstract. It's abstract. And
I when I first heard the term, bro, I was like, you know, like a little dumb with it. I'm like running around telling people lo-fi. What makes it lo-fi is the mix. It's a different type of mix. And then like later on, like people like, yo, bro, you don't even know what you're talking about. Like, so then I stopped ever talking about lo-fi. So now that we're here live, and this will be on YouTube, and I will caption all this and clip it. Smooth explains what lo-fi is.
Yeah, I mean it's hard for me to explain, really. You know what I mean? It's just a very abstract sound. You know, it's very gritty. You know what I mean? Soulful, but it's not clean. You know what I mean? Real dirty.
I think that lo-fi got a bad name at some point, right? Because there was these producers coming out that were lo-fi, and I talked about this with Theravada one night. We were sitting here, and I was saying, like Madlib was one of the like godfathers of this type of lo-fi. But when I say lo-fi, I mean like loop-based, gritty samples. But then Theravada had a good point. He brought it back to even like RZA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, RZA's got lo-fi records. But you know, a lot of these lo-fi producers credit Dilla. You know, Dilla's, that's lo-fi, abstract. That's what that is.
But then it got a bad name, I think, because what happened was there was a lot of these producers that made a lot of beats that sounded the same. And it was like on these playlists, like music to study to, music to go to sleep to, and shit like that. And then anyone who is in this genre of lo-fi got kind of like lumped in with that.
So the lyrical content has nothing to do with what the category is. It's strictly the beat, the sound.
Right. I mean, I would consider Doom You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doom's music is like, you know, stuff like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that the reason why these people have those numbers, like you're saying, right? And I mean, you could probably speak to this even better, but like, there was that point where like playlists on Spotify became the thing that you needed to do to like get more streams up, and some of these guys were like,
important.
But I'm saying they get these playlist ads on every album they do, and like they get on like the big lo-fi playlists of Spotify, and then the streams go. Pew.
Yeah, that's really.
So is it fair to have these like micro topic categories, like because we just talked about connoisseur rap and all this other stuff, right? And what would you call it? Royal rap? Well,
like luxury
rap,
yeah,
like you know. So there's so many. Does the lo-fi could be also categorized with these other
definitely.
terms?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you hear, have you heard people say like bops, like boppers and stuff like that? That's really what it is. It's like that funky, swingy type. You know what I mean? Theravada, shout out to Theravada. Yeah, he does his thing with, you know, these type of joints. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I see. Like to me, I can consider it like these people that play this type of stuff, like the soulful, the chops, the loops,
I love
that type of shit. But then, like I said, some of these, like, because there was so many artists that nobody ever heard of that came out as lo-fi artists that got like a lot of streams because of those playlists.
Got you.
And like you would never like point that person out or anything like that. So so I think that's why Mickey gets a little bit like he doesn't love it because he's like, what? It's not even a genre. But I'm like, there's so many different subgenres like that.
Yeah, subgenres. I call them micro topics. It's like, you know, but are they really true categories? You know, and then I guess that's only based on if it has a playlist.
I mean, no, I don't think it's only based on a playlist,
because you can't go to a playlist and look for cocaine rap, but yet
that's true.
You know, there is a category for it at this point. But you can go to a playlist and find lo-fi.
Yes, because it became classified as that because there's so many artists. And like SmooVth said, go look at the streams. Go to a lo-fi playlist, like lo-fi beats or whatever on Spotify, and look at the streams. It's ridiculous.
You got to think about it too. Like, I mean, SoundCloud was birthed in Germany, right? Spotify, I'm not sure.
Yeah, France.
Something like that. Okay. The lo-fi, a lot of the lo-fi guys are from over there. You know what I mean? So they do numbers on like Spotify. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, like it's
if they're targeting and they're doing all their analytics the right way, then I understand it.
Well, it's like I mean, it's
but
also
the debate of lo-fi and why it's a category will continue.
But see,
we need to have Knox for it.
I actually like it though. I didn't, you know, do it just. You know, for streams.
I get that. No,
really,
musically, you were what's the damn word? Inspired.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because you know, if I go listen to MF Doom, I would classify it, you know, somewhere along these same lines. You know.
And I mess with a lot of these guys too. You know, because like I like
who. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Who would you say is from, you know, we could take it from the 80s into the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, but, you know, everybody always talks about a top 5 and all of that. But for you yourself, you know, is it, and I always want to hear, because like when you ask me, I'm going to say Nature. That's on my top 5. I mean, you might think I'm crazy, but, you know, some people,
that's your top
5. But the way that people want you to categorize it when you say who you think is the best, the greatest ever, no, I want to know who is your personal most favorite MCs, where I know Little Vic would say OC, you know what I mean, like type of thing. So
that's a good one.
Yeah, OC is a good one.
So like in terms of, you know, your personal favorite rappers ever, you know, who influenced you, type of thing.
I'd say I got to put Prodigy.
Yeah, we already said that.
Yeah, we said Prod. We know for sure.
We know Prodigy is there. Nas is always, you know what I mean. I also got to take it back. He's ahead of my time, but. You know, people wouldn't expect me to say Slick Rick, but Slick Rick is, you know,
storyteller.
Yeah,
I mean, Slick Rick, bro.
Young Bus, you know what I mean? Young Bus. coming. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Bus doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Where he stands,
you know what I mean? It's so many. It's too many for me to.
Yeah.
It's a shame that I'm, saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because there's probably other guys that I'm thinking about.
And keep that's going, what.
20, that's what I want to hear more than anything is like some of the maybe people like wouldn't expect you to say. You know what I mean? Like names that. Because I'd be throwing names out there sometimes and people are like, come on, bro. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, to me.
Nah. Tragic. Gaddafi, Doom. Gaddafi, Doom, like I said, Nas, G-Rap, Prodigy.
No doubt.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Those guys.
Name me a crazy one in your list.
Look, Joel Ortiz is one of my most my favorite rappers ever. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. Didn't you say Knox told you about him, right?
And then it was that I didn't even know that he was Joel Quickman. I didn't know that until Knox had told me. But then one of my personal favorite MCs is Pretty Ugly.
Okay.
And he was on so Joel Quickman was on a Pretty Ugly record. Yep. And I didn't even know that was Joel Ortiz when but knew the record because of Pretty Ugly. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But PU's another one of those like unsung heroes. Like he's really dope when he gets in his pocket, bro. So a lot of those types of guys. I mention Ali all the time. People have Ali. Their opinions and all that. It's like the names that people don't expect you to say.
Vegas,
you know
I gotta Vegas too.
You know Vegas.
I've been listening to him since high school. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. Yeah. And he's a his ability to come up with a chorus and a hook, no matter what the beat is, it's
outstanding.
Yeah. It's unbelievable sometimes.
Yeah.
So when I would write a list like that, it would be. I mean, of course, it's gonna be Nas and Big and all that.
Yeah,
but,
right. But
those like kind of like obscure names because guys like Hus and there's like people that in certain eras. Was ill, like in the terms of you being a fan for the whole, like that's why we go about to G-Rap.
Yeah.
I'm like a kid listening to that type of stuff. To now, even like for me, in my opinion, like I'd be like, G-Rap and Tragedy keep getting better, with age.
It's crazy.
It's just incredible how dope they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What else we got for SmooVth?
Well, let's talk about what you got going on. What you got coming up? You got the 1 2 album. That's the last one you put out, right?
Yeah, that's the last one I put out. That's the 1 2 album. Right now, I'm almost done with another Giallo one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Yo, work.
Yeah.
I mean, how many at this point? How many albums you have with Giallo? 5, 6, 7?
More than that. We got Portrait of a Pimp, Medellin 2. Bring It On Home.
See, I gotta look him up, bro.
Yeah.
Giallo.
Wolves. Hempstead. Yeah, so we got 6, I think. 6.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah, so that's almost done. Another one with Hus on the way.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We'll be waiting for that.
Yeah, and then hopefully we got this one that me and Vegas were talking about.
Okay.
The other day.
Dope, very dope.
Yeah.
Would you say that you are inspired, like to create right now?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely inspired.
Is your opinion on content we've had this debate sometimes they say don't call art content, type of thing where it's it's art and it's not just to be treated just as like a piece of content, but as a curator now in this day and age, are you inspired to curate content?
For sure. Content. I mean, content, art, same shit for me because it's both. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely inspired to create. You know what I mean?
Dope.
I think so. Yeah, I think some people would consider them different only in the respect of they think like art is like you take more time in this, and I feel like people look at content as like disposable. You're like putting shit out constantly.
Nah, I feel you. See, for me, every album is art.
Of course.
Which is why it takes me longer. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then it's content at the same time because
I totally get that.
Yeah, but definitely art. You know what I mean?
So coming up,
Mhm.
you know, would you say that in like this is 2026, like going into even 27,
Yeah.
you have a schedule of things that you're working on that you know, and then videos and stuff like that. Merch.
Besides the Giallo project, that's guaranteed because it's almost done. You know what I mean? But as far as the rest of my plate, everything else is just talks. You know what I mean?
I like it.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I asked. You know, because
so
I want to get into some talks.
Yeah, so I'm just
talk.
We're gonna talk.
Yeah, so I'm just, you know, I'm chilling, man.
Yeah,
you know, because the Giallo joint I'm doing at the house, so you know that's light, that's easy, you know, and then I'm just free, you know what I mean? But definitely, yeah, definitely. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
bro,
I said,
you are welcome here anytime at the hub.
we're definitely gonna do that. You know what I mean? I had a talk with Hus the other day, and that's really what I was like, damn, what am I doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just seeing what he's doing, I'm like, nah, I gotta put in more work, definitely. You know what I mean?
Well, we love to hear that.
Yeah, for sure. No bullshit. Like, for real.
Absolutely. We are Lost in Hip Hop live on Twitch on Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. to 11. DJ Concept, DJ Mickey Knox, Mr. Menza. We are here with SmooVth.
Appreciate you coming down.
We are DCM.
Salute.com.
Let's do this. Oh, tragedy again.
Oh, tragedy again. That sweater is fire, bro.
All right, but you go to We Are DCM, we got all of them. We got the Lost Boys, we got the Tragedy, we got the Vegas, we got the DCMs.
Absolutely.
All of them.
What up, Twitches?
Yo, we appreciate you coming down.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah,
thank you.
I like all the history, all the hip hop.
Yeah,
like,
you know
we love it, bro. We love hip hop.
This is what we do.
Yeah.
All right,
so you're gonna play some music for us?
Yeah, I'll play a little bit of music. Yeah. We'll play.
Shout out to
music
Ewing
and get out of here.
Athletics.